Welcome, citizen, to another Starcraft Nation broadcast. I'm your host, Vinarati, and I'm very glad to be back once again, bringing you more top-tier action. Actually, going to be seeing some stuff coming out of Australia. Well, at least I know mOOnGLaDe is from Australia. mOOnGLaDe, of course, will be spawning as the purple Zerg up here in the top corner, and JesseTheKIng will be spawning as the red Terran down here in the southern corner. Of course, we are on Xel'Naga caverns. So very standard ladder map. We've seen it. We've all played it 100 billion bajillion times, and sometimes I just want a little bit new. But hey, this is where this awesome matchup takes place, and trust me, it is pretty awesome. Back and forth. Going to see a lot of great shenanigans. And starting off, we're going to be seeing JesseTheKIng walling off at the bottom of his ramp. Now, this isn't well, at least in the North American servers, you don't generally see that all that often. You're generally going to be seeing walling off up here, but this does allow you to wall off with just one supply depot and a barracks. So it takes a little bit less to wall off, and of course you can put the attachment on there without having to worry about it being blocked by this and all that kind of shenanigans. So, of course, mOOnGLaDe will be seeing that right now, as mOOnGLaDe is going to be denied the scouting. Also, that's another plus of this wall off right here, is the fact that you can deny the early scout. So mOOnGLaDe will not be able to tell what exactly JesseTheKIng is going to be up to. So mOOnGLaDe, sitting at around 15 supply right now, will be not grabbing a supply depot. Won't be grabbing a spawning pool just yet. Looks like he will be going for the hatchery. And yes, here we go. He does actually throw down the hatch. So we'll be doing the 15 hatch. Probably going to be seeing a pool next. I would hope to see a pool unless he's going to be doing something really heavy macro. So right now, the drone is going to be returning to home base with the SCV in tow. Let's go ahead and take a look at the harvester count, of course, neck and neck. This early on in the game, I would hope not to see anything too far apart. JesseTheKIng will be grabbing that orbital command at this point. Orbital command, of course, will be allowing those mules to be coming down, and the mules playing a huge part in the Terran economy. Now, JesseTheKIng will be actually grabbing a second barracks right away. Now, this makes me wonder if he's going to be looking for early pressure, because the first Marine that does actually come out for Jesse is going to be heading straight for there, and you can, as you can tell by that rally point, it is way up here. Where is that rally point going? Yes, to the Xel'Naga tower. And of course, the drone and the SCV are going to be dueling it out here. Is it going to end up in a death? That does not look like it. Jesse will be pulling back here, and we have 5 SCVs moving out here, chasing this drone with the Marine. And I don't know about you, but that smells a little cheesy to me. Are we going to be seeing bunkers? What exactly are we going to be seeing from him? We even have a lead Marine up here going to be applying some pressure onto the hatchery. And yes, here we go. We have a bunker queued up here. And mOOnGLaDe pulling off his own drones here. Has more than enough drones to deal with this, it does look like. So waiting for his Zerglings to show up as well. So we have 2 Marines right here, and the drones are going to be engaging the SCVs. The first SCV does go down, and the Lings, one Ling going down, trying to engage these Marines. The Marines trying to back up in between the crystals, not allowing that surface area, so they're going to be DPS down. Meanwhile, the SCVs trying to engage as well. This one, ooh, is it going to be close? Yes, and that Ling does go down right after that SCV. And the bunker does end up finishing up, and there are 3 Marines in there now with 1 SCV, and they are going to be throwing some gauze rounds into that hatchery. It's going to take quite some time for that, though, and here we go. We actually have a Queen coming down from the main of mOOnGLaDe. mOOnGLaDe going to use the Queen as a tank, it does appear, as these Marines are going to take quite a few bullets to actually do anything with this Queen. And the Queen, of course, will be clawing her way into that Marine. That Marine does go down. We have a full surround on this bunker, so it does look like the bunker's time is going to be short-lived. And yes, the bunker does go down, and so do all the occupants of the bunker itself, as we see a couple little rib cages and whatnot. So mOOnGLaDe able to withstand that early pressure, and it looks like he will be going on the attack, as we can go ahead and see moving out here, looking to take a look at the Xel'Naga tower. We have both Queens down here on the main. We have the beginning of a creep spreadage right there. So mOOnGLaDe able to keep himself in this game. A lot of Zerg players would actually fold the pressure like that, and actually he's ahead as far as harvester count goes. And Jesse, though, has 5 Marines on the bottom of his ramp behind this, make that 6. Even enticing mOOnGLaDe to come out there with that down supply dip, like, yeah, come on down here. Let me greet you with a face full of lead. So mOOnGLaDe just kind of loitering outside, making sure that Jesse can expand, even though Jesse doesn't look like he wants to. With this command center sitting right there, income-wise, mOOnGLaDe is just cranking heavy on that macro pedal right now. That is definitely all the way to the floor, and if he can maintain this economic advantage, he could very well overwhelm Jesse. Jesse, though, sitting here, does look like he might be able to secure this thing, as there are not any Zerglings out here to threaten this bunker development. And yeah, it does look like we're going to be seeing a little bit of a lull right now. This command center, though, will be grabbing the orbital command before it chooses to hop over this wall and land over here. And it makes me wonder if he's going to be sitting inside for a little while. Nope, he's going to pick up, not even going to throw down the mule early on. Just going to go ahead and save that and cart that bitch over here, and we'll be landing it here shortly. Well, yes, there we go. Yep, we'll be landing it shortly. And meanwhile, what do we have coming out of mOOnGLaDe? mOOnGLaDe's just sitting here. We'll be grabbing metabolic boost, lots of lings. I'm not sure why we're seeing lots of lings like that. Not sure if we're going to be seeing some attempted ling pressure, and if that is the case, we do want to see that here relatively shortly. But no, never mind. It's going to actually be baneling pressure, as a baneling nest is on the way. And if I do believe, we do actually have a factory coming down for Jesse. Now, Jesse has a couple of great options here. Actually, two. That's right, two factories. Ooh, and yes, Hellions on the way. Now, this is going to be a hard counter to the Zerglings, and Glade's going to have a hard time with this, I believe, because not only does he have one with a reactor, he does actually have one with a tech lab, and I would be a betting man to say that we're going to be seeing that wonderful blue flame coming out of there. Yes, that Infernal Pre-Igniter has just been queued up right there. So, Jesse going to be going heavy against the light units, and it could spell a lot of trouble for mOOnGLaDe right here. Meanwhile, though, mOOnGLaDe knocking down those rocks for the high-yield expansion, and will be going ahead and throwing down a hatchery on there, so he will be growing that right there, hoping to be able to mine that gold resource here momentarily. Meanwhile, though, we'll be putting some pressure on Jesse, putting that scouting SCV, that scouting Zergling out there, as he definitely gave his life for the vision, and that's really going to be important here. Taking a look at the income tab, right before this attack will commence, we are seeing a 10 harvester lead right now for Glade, and Glade comes in here with a whole slew of banelings, and the banelings are starting to detonate. Yes, there goes the tech lab, there goes the bunker. The banelings able to squeeze through there, and not going to be able to get in much of the way of contact. Detonating on those Hellions, it's really not going to be that effective. And the Zerglings just pouring in here, trying to get the surround. The Hellions will be bottlenecking themselves, not allowing the Zerglings to get the surround. We do actually see the SCVs coming off the line as well, but I do not believe a single SCV was taken right there. Meanwhile, more Zerglings out in the open, trying to do something, but all of them being barbecued to a crisp, then ran over for good measure. So Jesse just absolutely destroyed that attack, and you can tell by that loss tab. And here we go, Infernal Pre-Igniter just finishing up here. And a lot of pain is about to be inflicted upon Glade, as the only thing he has on the field is Banelings and Zerglings, and both of which are just going to be annihilated. Here we go, Zerglings trying to get a surround on those Hellions, and quickly being toasted right there. Where are the Spine Crawlers? I'm not seeing any Spine Crawlers. We do see the drones evacuating the mineral line, not evacuating quite well enough. It does not look, yes, they actually go in there, and just many of them being roasted right there. And, ooh, yes, we're seeing about a 10 drone loss right there. More SCVs, or more Hellions being burning those drones to a crisp right there. That's just a pile of harvesters, and that is not what you want to see. That is definitely going to hurt, as this one queen is tanking all these Hellions being woefully inadequate at killing queens. But more Zerglings trying to come in here, trying to get in contact with these Hellions. Yes, we see 2 Hellions going down. Will they get a third? It does not look like, as only 2 Zerglings are left. Oh, it's going to be close. 8 HP. No. Yes, he does actually get that last one. So that hero Zergling able to kill that one Hellion, or 2 of those Hellions actually, and more Hellions showing up there. And mOOnGLaDe is just pouring in the Zerglings. But we do actually see a Roach Warren on the way. And it is very sad to see mOOnGLaDe lost so many harvesters here. He's down to 26 when he had about a 15 harvester lead there early on. That one Marine just absolutely being surrounded and torn asunder. And here we go. Are we going to get... No, only one Marine actually goes down to that. A little bit of splash damage going for that orbital command. And right now, we see 14 drones on the way, so mOOnGLaDe looking to put himself back in this economic race, as it is going to be needed. And yes, it is just... Oh, here we go. More Hellions moving up here for the attack. They're going to be trying to get into the main. It does appear. Are the Lings going to be able to get there in time? One more drone being roasted right there. The Queen coming up on the ramp, not able to block them. And these drones are going to be in trouble here if they do not get away in time. The Zerglings coming up here. Are they going to be able to get in the way of these Hellions? Yes, we see 3 drones being roasted right there. Hellions once again bottling up here in these small canals, just roasting all of these Lings. 2 Queens and 2 Roaches here, though. These Roaches, of course, are not going to be in any threat from those Hellions. The drones returning to their mineral lines. So the drones eager to get back on that mineral line, eager to get that economy back on track, because I'll tell you what, he is behind in a bad way. Oh, no, never mind. He actually put himself back in his shoes with that 14 drone muster right there. But here we go, Hellions again on this high yield, and it looks like about 5 or 6 drones went down right there. Marines coming up here with combat shields and stim, going to be threatening these Roaches. Those Roaches were too few in number to actually challenge that many Marines, and the Marines are about to come down off the stim. Yes, they do. Here we go. And so many Roaches right here, taking out those softened up Marines. No medevacs in the air to heal them, as the Marines and Hellions were basically pushed off of this high yield base. The natural being occupied right now, as it's going to be a little bit safer. I'm really surprised to see, though, that we have not seen any spine crawlers for mOOnGLaDe, and we're seeing 26 more Zerglings come online for him. So even with this Hellion threat, mOOnGLaDe just loving those Zerglings, as the Hellions get a complete surround, not able to do anything. And hello, sneaky Hellions coming back here in the bushes, looking to do some magic here. Are they going to be able to do some damage? Here we go. 2 drones going down. Another drone going down. Another drone. So 4 drones going down. That's painful to see any day. But those 3 Hellions did end up going down. So it wasn't that super effective. But mOOnGLaDe is really going to be hurting. 4 drones at this point, sitting at 27 to 46. The Harvester count is starting to definitely lean in the favor of JesseTheKIng. So Jesse just able to continue to harass mOOnGLaDe with this overall domination. And mOOnGLaDe looking to muster another attack here. This is hopefully going to go a little bit better than his first attack, as his first attack was soundly destroyed. And I'm not so sure, as this might be a desperation attack, as we're seeing the army differences aren't that great. Here we go, Zerglings getting in the face of these Marines and Marauders. The detonations of the Banelings going there, cracking that one bunker, the only bunker there. The Roaches, though, being threatened by this Marauder and the tank, and the Hellions just nipping at the heels of these Roaches. The Roaches turning around, taking a few pot shots, and one Roach actually going down right there, and those concussive shells impacting on the Roaches, not allowing them to run away and trying to save them. So mOOnGLaDe does look like he will be losing all of these Roaches, and this is definitely a sad day, as mOOnGLaDe's second attack was soundly beaten once again. Of course, that one Zergling taken off that Xel'Naga tower, going to be roasted. And here we go, that high yield expansion threatened once again. mOOnGLaDe forced to pull his drones off the mineral line, and Baneling skittering here, trying to get in contact with these Marines. Marines stimming. Oh, and the Zerglings come from behind, not allowing them to run away. That was a great move there, great micro. Those Banelings able to get in the face of those Marines, and the surround was gotten, and they were all soundly beaten as these Marauders are trying desperately to run away. Meanwhile, though, the medevac coming over here, picking these units up, looking like they're going to be dropping here. And yes, the 2 Roaches here, though, able to dispatch both of those Marines and that one Hellion, because they were quite damaged. So mOOnGLaDe able to secure his mineral line once again with those 2 defensive Roaches, really able to save a lot, because those Marines would have done those Marines and that one Hellion would have really done a lot of damage if no one had been there to stop them. Looking at the bases, mOOnGLaDe mined out here on his main. His natural still looking very untouched. This high yield also has a lot of minerals left. JesseTheKIng sitting pretty much on one operational base. Oof, even his natural is looking very sparse right here. Of course, those mules really just strip mining all of those bases right there. The rocks being destroyed at this moment. So JesseTheKIng does look like he will be trying to take this expansion right here. Meanwhile, mOOnGLaDe doing a drone transfer. How are the drones looking? mOOnGLaDe looks like he's just about caught up with Jesse the King here. But I don't know about this whole continuation with the Lings and Banelings. These Marauders and Hellions are definitely going to wreak a lot of havoc on this build. Now, the Marines, I would have to say, if it was just Marauders and Hellions, there would be a little bit, but these Marines definitely adding a buffer and basically just the glue that's holding this build together right now. Hellions in the mineral line right there, roasting a couple of drones. Looked like they got a hold of 3 drones, but 3 Hellions did go down, so don't know really if that paid for itself. But once again, going back to this build, it's an interesting build. We're not seeing that many tanks out here. We do actually see 1 tank right there, and it does look like it will be sieging up, so this will allow Jesse the King to really defend himself against this bio. And by bio, I mean these goddamn Banelings, as these Banelings are going to be popped like dirty blisters with this tank fire, as well with the Marauders. So the Marauders going to be acting as a meat shield against these Banelings. And here we go, Roaches coming up here, doing a little bit of focus fire. The Marines stimming, running up here, but seeing the Banelings will be retreating. That 1 Marine left up there. Great micro detonations on these bunkers, and the Siege Tank just racking up kills here. The Zerglings and the Banelings both absolutely dispatched right there. Roach is the only thing left at this moment, and they are in full retreat, as it does look like Jesse the King is going to be able to secure this high-yield expansion. Look at all those mules and the Planetary Fortress finishing up there. Hellions once again in the mineral line, toasting and roasting these drones. It is just his favorite pastime, as Jesse the King has killed so many drones this game, and looks like he is going to be able to kill this high yield. And yes, the high yield actually does go down, and here we go. Roaches pissed off, coming in there, trying to get in the face of the Marines, stimming once again, very soft at this point. The Roaches getting in the face and just melting these Marines away, as these Roaches able to soak up that DPS, as they are so thick. And it does look like we actually have a drop in the main of Jesse the King, and the Roach Warren is taken out. These drones running away desperately for their lives. The dropship looked like it's coming over here to threaten this this expansion right here. And right now, Jesse is really done a great job of shutting down mOOnGLaDe's economy. As we can see right here, Jesse the King's economy is triple the income, or the intake. And now that mOOnGLaDe has actually gotten some drones on the line, it's not going to be triple, but mOOnGLaDe just forced to constantly move his drones around, drone transfer after drone transfer, ends up losing this high yield. This was really a keystone of his economy there early on. And Jesse the King, feeling confident, is going to be put down 3 more racks, but hell, why not? He's got the economy to do so. So Jesse the King really sitting pretty, as we're seeing more tanks, more Marauders, and more Marines. And this combination has really worked well for him against mOOnGLaDe. And here we go, more drops coming in. Jesse the King forcing mOOnGLaDe to evacuate his mineral line once again, and the economy is just going to suffer for it, as mOOnGLaDe is sitting around half. And it's just amazing that mOOnGLaDe has not built any spine crawlers, because that is going to be what he needs in this situation to deal with these medevac drops. Because the medevac drops, I mean, this is been very damaging. And here we go, Bailey's trying to thwart that 1 medevac drop right there, but mOOnGLaDe's forced to move his army, move his drones to react to Jesse's drops. If he put down the spine crawlers, he wouldn't be forced to move his army around, and he could actually attack with his army, because right now mOOnGLaDe's on the back pedal. He is completely in a reactionary state, as once again pressure being put on a high yield, or on an expansion right here, and mOOnGLaDe just had forced to move away. And his hatcheries are starting to show the damage of that. This hatchery almost down to a 3rd life, and here we go, Zerglings showing up here, and Jesse the King doing a great job pulling those Marines up, not allowing any damage to come to his units. And it does look like Jesse the King has had enough of his shenanigans and is going to go for a killing blow here, as this is going to be very crushing. I'm not sure if mOOnGLaDe can deal with this. Looking at the army tab, mOOnGLaDe is definitely in the lacking, and yes, mOOnGLaDe knows it, and he GG's before any of these tanks even fire off a single round. So right there, we saw the harassment from Jesse absolutely just disrupt mOOnGLaDe. mOOnGLaDe not able to field a proper army at pretty much any point past his first attack, as he was completely just kept to reacting to Jesse's attacks. Those Hellions racking up so many Harvester kills. I'd be very interested to see how many Harvesters mOOnGLaDe actually built through the entirety of this matchup. So, guys, I really hope you enjoyed what you saw. There's going to be a lot more coming. finally getting back in the swing of things. I know I had to take like a week break or even more than that actually. Fraps absolutely just kicking my ass. Hopefully going to be seeing some stuff from some tournaments on the channel as well, and starting to do some streaming on Ustream, so you can look me up at the Starcraft Nation on Ustream.com. So guys, check it out. Let me know what you think. And yeah, thank you so much for sticking with me. And as always, citizens, stay safe.